Jennifer Blanke, we're issuing today the Lisbon Review 2006. What is the Lisbon Review?
Back in 2000, the leaders of Europe set a goal to make Europe the most competitive and dynamic economy by the year 2010. With the Lisbon Review, which the World Economic Forum has been carrying out every 2 years since the year 2002, we aim to measure Europe's progress towards actually achieving this ambitious goal. Within the Lisbon Review, we actually measure a variety of dimensions or issue areas that were highlighted by Europe as being very important in reaching these goals. In particular, we look at issue areas such as creating an information society for all, improving innovation and research and development in Europe, creating an enterprise environment that is more conducive to private sector activity, improving market liberalization, and also issues such as social inclusion and sustainable development.
So why does the World Economic Forum benchmark the Lisbon goals?
Because we think that the agenda that Europe set back in 2000 is a very important one. Unfortunately, we've seen that not enough progress has been made across most of the areas. And it's very important to note that basically if Europe could accelerate the pace of reform and accelerate the implementation of the Lisbon Agenda, this would be very important for improving the prospects for both economic growth and job creation in Europe.
Now to the findings. Who is leading the way on EU's Lisbon goals?
That's the interesting question. The Nordic countries continue to be really the best performers with regards to the Lisbon goals. In particular this year, Denmark is the #1 ranked country. It's followed quite closely by Finland and Sweden. These three countries do very well across the board on all of the dimensions that we're measuring, and most particularly compared to other European countries with regards to innovation and research and development, and also measures of social inclusion and sustainable development.
What about the other big European countries, France, Germany, and the UK?
Germany is the highest ranked large economy. It's ranked 5th overall. Germany has a number of strengths. Germany is the #1 performer, for example, with regards to market liberalization, and also does quite well with regards to financial markets as well as social inclusion. The United Kingdom, which is ranked 6th, does very well with regards to financial markets, which is not surprising given London's position as an important international financial hub, but the UK is held back by weaknesses in the areas of social inclusion and sustainable development. France is ranked 9th overall, still in the top 10. France is very strong, for example, with regards to its networked industries, particularly transport and telecommunications. But again, France is held back, and the reason it's ranked 9th overall is because it's suffering from weaknesses, particularly in the creation of an information society, as well as general market liberalization in the economy.
And what can we say about the new EU member countries in Eastern Europe?
Well, actually, we've seen that there's been an impressive improvement of a number of them since 2004, the last time that we did the Lisbon Review. And right now, a number of the accession countries from 2004 are doing better than some of the long-standing European Union countries from before the accession. Most particularly, if we look at the very well-performing countries, Estonia is outperforming a lot of countries. It's ranked 12th overall, which is just outside the top 10. Estonia is doing particularly well with regards to the information society. It has a government that has excellent online services, also very, very high internet penetration rates. Estonia also has an enterprise environment that is extremely conducive to private sector activity. As well as the accession countries from 2004, we also looked at the candidate countries, so the countries that are in line for joining the European Union in the coming years. And very interestingly, we found that both Croatia and Turkey, two countries for which there is no foreseen entry date, in fact outperformed both Bulgaria and Romania, two countries that are going to join the European Union in January of 2007. Perhaps even more strikingly, these two countries outperformed Poland, which is actually already an EU member.
One last question. Can you say a word about the methodology used for this survey?
Sure. We used two types of data. We used both hard data, which is data that we get from a variety of sources, such as UNESCO for education or the IMF, on more macro variables. And then we also combine this together, very importantly, with survey data from our executive opinion survey that the World Economic Forum carries out every year among top executives and CEOs in every country. We use this data and we combine it together to measure each of the different dimensions that I mentioned earlier in order to come up with overall rankings on a scale of 1 to 7 for each of the countries.